What's happening, good listener? Welcome back inside the TCA Studio in beautiful Bytown, Canada. Matt Robinson with you as always. Give us a follow on social media at Talkin Audio and subscribe to the pod wherever you're hearing us right now. Against our better judgment, we welcome back our friend Chris Hofley. I made the air quotes. There's no cameras.
He did.
Yeah.
There's very aggressive. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
What's happening, man?
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't been here in a minute.
Well, you haven't. You were on the show right before Christmas with Schreids and Vanessa.
Oh, yes.
But we all just kind of posted up in our PJ pants wherever we were.
And just roasted each other pretty much for the entire thing. It was
That's
great.
basically what happened.
Actually, we mostly ganged up and roasted you, as I recall.
Mostly, yeah.
It's my favorite holiday tradition.
Yeah, this year it'll be just Matt, I think is how we'll do that. What's going on, though? Things are good?
Yeah, things are great.
Yeah.
The weather is slightly better than it has been. It's not minus 20 in April anymore. Digging that.
It's plus
the Sens
5 and rain.
The Sens are in the playoffs.
It's giving me the blues.
We can talk about which teams aren't Canadian teams. Oh, I knew you were going to have a fucking hotkey for something like that. We can talk about which Canadian teams are and aren't in the playoffs at some point during the show. But
it's actually more who aren't than those who are. We can get into all of it as you suggest, but you know where we like to start. What have you pulled out of the magic fridge there, man?
Oh, yes. This is a new one. I haven't had this before, and I'm a sucker for good can art, as I think I've mentioned before.
Yeah. Guy loves a good can.
Courtesy of Kitchissippi Beer Co., R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is.
This is the Sasquatch Schnitzel Vienna-style lager. And good listener, I'm telling you, there's a Sasquatch with a schnitzel type of, or actually, this is like a sausage on a fork.
I don't even know what it's.
And he's in a forest on like a checkered picnic blanket and
picnic basket.
It's Vienna style lager. I don't know anything about this one, but the can is good. It's cold and it's gonna make a fun little sound here.
Oh, that was fun.
That was good.
No, you're right. Kitchissippi always did nice stuff. It was sad to see that go down the way that it did. That beer was one that came from Bunda, who knew the people over there quite well. I kept a couple tucked away for myself, put a couple in the fridge for guests. Hofley has good taste.
Can't avoid a Sasquatch Schnitzel.
No. Who amongst us
I still can't stop looking at the can. Like, it's unbelievable.
It will be on our Instagram at Talkin Audio. Give us a follow there. I am going with one that I think I had like 100 years ago.
This is out of your private reserve because you pulled this out of the studio fridge. Matt has like 42 beer fridges in his place.
3, and it's just a condo. Like, there's no reason to have
his whole condo is a beer fridge.
A series of fridges. It's like walking into one of those storage locker facilities where you can.
Yeah, I used to walk into your place and I'd wait for you to tell me to go to the fridge. Now I got to go to the fridge before I even say hi to you.
Did not even come over to say hello, to shake my hand, but it just went right to the fridge.
We got there.
Yeah, no, got to the important stuff first. This is the Walkerville Easy Stout, and I guess brewed down near Windsor. Roughly 5%. It's a sweet stout, which is the way I like to describe my own build.
Yes, well,
stout and sweet.
We can do a social media poll on that one. How you describe Matt's physique? Sweet stout,
a little pose,
not bad.
A little, yeah. Here in my Sweet Ducks hoodie, like I could strike.
Yeah,
a pose.
Matt is wearing an orange Anaheim Ducks
orange
right now.
Very flattering for the larger gentleman, right?
Like, you should wear
very bright colored shirts are always a great idea for the curvy gentleman, which is perhaps the title.
Just
of my next
open your
podcast.
fucking beer.
Oh, right, that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how you do that. Oh, it's nice.
Is it a sweet stout?
It's a sweet stout, Hofley. You and I are sitting here on a Wednesday evening.
Indeed.
Yeah. The Senators are about to play the Leafs with a chance to do just about whatever they want to here. the Sens could win the game. Nothing is going to change. Ottawa's playing the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round of the playoffs. Do the Senators want to intentionally lose the game so that the Leafs lose their top 5 draft pick status? Do they want to kick the shit out of the awful Leafs this year? There's a lot of stuff to get to.
All of it makes me very, very happy.
Like, honestly, as a Sens fan, you can't really lose on Wednesday night. This episode of the podcast will come out slightly after that, so the good listener will know what has happened. But I'm curious.
Don't cry, Matt.
I think all the fight's been
It's okay. You're okay.
been knocked out.
Everything's going to be fine.
There's really only one button for this episode of the show. Look, man, yeah, the last time you were in here was for the Brew Marsh, which needs a new title because the Lou Marsh no longer exists. But I'm not particularly creative, so it's taking me like 2.5 years to come up with it. But since then, a lot of things have gone down, and I guess this news broke before that, but the Ottawa REDBLACKS have brought in Ryan Dinwiddie to take over operations. I think most people were really interested in that as a hire. I think, well, I won't speak for anybody else. I was high on it as a hire. It allows Berkey to stay in the organization. He sort of promotes himself. This is the way all of this stuff works in any sport, right? Like, I would really like to hire your assistant GM to become my assistant GM. Well, you can't do that. All right, well, then I would like to sign your assistant GM to become my GM, and my current GM moves up to president. And it's a
CFL, baby. None of it really makes total
and it's
sense.
Not even just a CFL thing. It's just a sports that will just shift some titles around and make it work. As you look at the off season that the REDBLACKS have had in terms of management, in terms of roster turnover, I'm sort of curious: is there a reason for Ottawa REDBLACKS fans to be excited this year in a way that hasn't quite panned out in previous years, or are we still kind of in a wait and see mode?
I'm a big fan of what the REDBLACKS have done this season. I'm only moderately upset.
So let me stop you right there for 1 second. Because in previous years, when we have had Chris Hofley in to do this, he has worked for OSEG.
Yes.
And now he's not.
Did you not?
So if he's high, or high on this, you can take it without that.
I was always honest to you.
I agree with that.
Within the bounds of my contractual.
That's right. But he no longer has those contractual bounds. And it seems like you still like this offseason for the REDBLACKS.
I do. I still like the offseason. I still am a big REDBLACKS fan. That never changed. I've been gone from there now for just closing in on like 2 years.
Yeah.
I wish we'd had an offseason like this in the last few years that I was there. Because I'm really impressed with what Berkey started from what started with Berkey when he brought in Dinwiddie. I think it's cool to see Berkey kind of put his own.
This is now fully his team, his stamp.
Yeah, his and he needed that. I was always preaching patience that the team was so bad pre-Berkey for a couple of years, and they brought him in, and you saw the culture change really fast in a good way. He brought in great people. He promoted Bob Dice to head coach, which I still maintain was a good idea. Didn't go as far as it probably should have, or everyone wanted to, but I think that at the time was kind of a no-brainer. But that being said, that didn't ultimately work out.
It didn't pan out.
I have so much time in the world for Bob. He's one of my favorite guys that I met working in the CFL world. But this offseason's a bit different for me in my mind, just because maybe what the REDBLACKS did too much of for too long was sticking with something that wasn't working. Players, staff. There were so many great players that were fan favorites that maybe weren't, getting them to where they wanted to be. And Ottawa had a bad habit sometimes of bringing guys back because they were popular.
Sure.
And
not uncommon across pro sports.
And it's a good thing to do, and it's good marketing, and some of these guys were great. They're all great football players, but sometimes it stopped working. Something that was working, and they were a little bit late, I felt, to the party of saying, you know what, we're going to cut ties here because this is not, you do great things with the fans. Everyone is big fans. They've got your jerseys. But at a certain point, after a few years, it's like, well, let's try something different. And I feel like they didn't do that for a little while. It was just kind of not going all the way down the well to try something new. It was like, we're going to put a Band-Aid on here, Band-Aid on there, bring in a couple guys, lose a couple guys. This was like a big fucking overhaul for this team this year. And it starts with Berkey bringing Dinwiddie in. Berkey puts his own, desire aside to be, presumably he was the GM. That's a cool gig.
Yep.
But I think he recognized that he needed to bring in, number one, a coach who was a bona fide, experienced, successful winner, CFL head coach. And I would assume that you weren't landing Dinwiddie and getting him out of Toronto without also making him the GM.
Because the only
which makes sense too.
They could make in Toronto was to have him push past pinball, and that was not going to happen.
It was never, and that was never going to happen. And you make it work. I'm so happy that Berkey's still in the mix as the kind of top dog of a new role that didn't exist prior to this, but I think is a good role that should exist.
But that is where somebody like me rolls my eyes and goes, okay, so we just invented a thing to go. And I agree.
I think if you can
Dinwiddie's
keep
a good hire.
If you can keep a guy like Berkey in the mix.
I agree with that too.
I think that's, whatever you
but
call it.
But this hiring structure that the league has where you're like, they made it up. That's fine.
The league changed. I have so many issues with how things go with staffing in the CFL anyway. Like the CFL has this coaching cap, the football ops cap that doesn't make any sense to me. It never did. Doesn't make sense to anybody who works there.
You may be aware that the Toronto Maple Leafs need someone to give them, I was going to say a new direction, a direction.
One direction?
Yeah, interesting. I wonder what those guys are doing. Could they run a hockey team? It's sort of you're somebody else's assistant GM. Our GM is a promotion, so our current GM moves up to president, and you can kind of move. That's clearly what happened here, right? For the Red Black, and I don't hate it. Do whatever you got to do within the rules to make it work for you. And I think Dinwiddie's a really good hire, but I wish we weren't pretending that it wasn't just Sean Burke is still running the show, and that's fine. I got no real beef with Sean Burke. But instead of running the show as GM, he's now assistant president or whatever.
President of football.
Sure.
Sure. I think, what?
It's just words.
I haven't been there in a bit, so I obviously don't know what the arrangement is. I think Dinwiddie, from what I understand, is the kind of guy who's not going to, he's going to be in control of that roster.
Okay.
I think Berkey's going to be there with it. There's so many moving pieces to that whole operation that having a guy of Sean's knowledge and background.
Because I'm not looking to run Sean Burke.
He's worked in every facet of the game too. He did work in comms and partnerships and stuff. So he kind of knows. Yeah, he's giving
the classic intern through the Ticat,
giving him an aerial view of the whole operation, and he can step in with the football stuff, the specific kind of roster stuff, and the cap stuff. I think it's great. I think, call the position whatever you want, or be obviously a lot of skeptics.
And that's just me nitpicking, right? It's the same.
I think ultimately you end up with two really good football minds running the football operations of that team, and you saw it in a busy free agency where they, again, going back to what I said, they moved on from some guys that had been there a while. They brought in some real skill quality players to replace them.
The old expression goes, if you listen to the fans, you will soon be sitting amongst them.
Yeah,
you're in sports management. Right?
But at a certain point, and the fans were screaming for let's turn this roster over. It can't just be the same faces all the time. And they did that in a good way, I think.
I was just gonna. Are they better?
Yeah. I think. In my mind, I was like, they have to be got a bigger problem. It's such a big season for them going into the coming off of the Dice regime and then going into this Lansdowne 2.0 construction. You're going to get a couple seasons from now that capacity of the building's going to be reduced while they knock down the north side. So you really need to get back to where you were in terms of like rabid, exciting fans that are there all the time, because the teams were really good as they were for a bunch of years. And so I think this is a big like do or die kind of year. Right, and I think they approach
reignite.
They seem like they approached the offseason with that in mind, because they were busy. They were probably one of the most active teams, especially in free agency. And they've kind of walked the line well of bringing back vets that fit with Dinwiddie's system still, and then saying goodbye to some guys that some would have been fairly tough conversations, right? And then bringing in some
this
players.
This is where I'm at when I say if you side with the fans, you'll sit with the fans.
Yeah.
Right? Like at some point, your most popular names, your most well-known name, at some point you might have to be the guy who says, yes, it's not what we need right now.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's a quarterback league.
Yep,
it's not a secret.
No.
None of it matters if the quarterback can't stay healthy or if the quarterback doesn't play well. They made a really good call, I think, in bringing in Jake Mayer coming in to back up Drew Brown, because he's not just someone who's just happy to be a backup and isn't, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that are like you're going to be a backup. You're going to be a backup.
This will be
forever.
A competition.
Jake is going to push Drew, and the team said Drew's our guy, as he should be.
Yeah, of course.
But again, he had a hard time staying healthy. And the quarterback room was just the way it was built last year was not designed to insulate the team from having that kind of loss, which I think they've done some mitigation this time around. Hopefully, I mean, fuck, it can go off the rails so quickly.
Anything can.
You have a couple big injuries in training camp early in the season, and and that happens to every team every year, it seems like. But Ottawa, for whatever reason, felt for years like, we just got the injury thing, just got kind of if it wasn't
100%.
so sad, it would have been comical, because it was just like, there's no way we have this many guys that are out on a team that on paper looks really good. I also hate the term a team looks good on paper, especially in football. It's like
it's fantasy football at that point, right?
I'm cautiously optimistic for this team this year, and I think they again, fresh voice in a head coach and GM, and he's like, I don't have any allegiance to anybody.
At this point,
I'm going to just go out and build the team that I want to build. And he's obviously got the go-ahead to do that from OSEG and the REDBLACKS brass, and that's great.
REDBLACKS fans who listen to this show, God love you, are probably tired of hearing about, the team kind of sucks, but it's so fun to watch a game at TD Place. The environment's so good. We've sold that for so long, and I think they're probably just as sick of hearing me make that argument that that's not good enough anymore. So I'm curious what you make of the current state of the REDBLACKS in this market. Because competition has ramped up, right? We have seen the Ottawa champions sort of grab a chunk of the summer fan base. For the course of the winter, the Charge are here now. We've got the Red Black Bears, as I still like to call them, but the lacrosse team in town. This is a market that is becoming flooded with, and that's not even to mention, Atletico and the Northern Super League. There's a lot going on right now, and I think the Sens in the nation's capital are bulletproof, right? You're the NHL team. You are the king of the market, but there's a lot of noise underneath. Where do the REDBLACKS fit right now in terms of the sporting landscape?
I go back to what I said, that it's a do or die year almost for this team, because there is that market share of Ottawa sports.
There's only so many dollars to go around, right?
And life is more expensive right now.
Man.
Disposable income for entertainment is not what it used to be. And when you're talking about making it a family-friendly affair, it's like, okay, well, if it's two parents and their three kids,
the 67s, there's a lot. And the basketball team, the Blackjacks,
and Ann Lauer, the Sens owner, is apparently in discussions to potentially buy the Olympique.
Sure.
And so who knows how that shifts? And that will take some focus in theory, maybe from the 67s.
Big market, but it's not that big of a market.
It's not that big, and people only have. And there's only so many days in the week for one thing, and there's only so much money to go around, and it's a hard sell to get people after a few years of kind of futility for the Red Blacks to be like, just stay with us and keep buying tickets. Like, no, you gotta like put up or shut up, win games, be in the playoffs. They have to be a playoff team this year. Like, bottom line, it used to be the old saying was like, it's hard to miss the playoffs in the CFL because it's like,
turns out it's not that hard.
Like it's and you have to. This team was too good early on to not be anywhere close to that still, and they weren't, and they haven't been. But I think this team has the roster makeup in this offseason gives me more confidence than I've had in a while that this team can take a decent run at things and get back to at least some level of respectability or making opponents. It used to be a hard place to play for visiting teams to come in and play in Ottawa. And then players loved playing here and would sign here. That kind of evaporated along the way, and they need to get that back.
100%. Let me ask you about the Charge here for a second, because you were with the organization when the PWHL fired up and partnered with OSEG and with TD Place and getting new locker rooms built and everything that went into that. And I've been pretty vocal here. You may have missed it, Hoff. I don't know.
I listen to you sometimes.
Sometimes. You should be listening.
I hear your voice in my head sometimes, and it's scary.
Yeah, me too. It's not good. There seems to be some friction now, right, in terms of TD Place 2.0 and the downgrade in seats. And I've been pretty critical about this as far as the PWHL approach. And the OSEG decision that, like, you know what, for the 67s these days, we need like 5,500. And for the PWHL to go, that doesn't work for me, man. Like, we need a little more than that. You're a tenant. You're not the primary. And that's okay. Like, we can have some disagreements here. I think, like most people think, the ultimate goal was to end up at whatever, whenever the new Sens building opens. That was the logical endpoint for everybody. But I think the PWHL has misstepped here in saying we will never play in a downsized TD play. You've boxed yourself in now, and you're going to push your. Look, I hear the talk, like everybody, that they might end up out at CTC for a year or two. All right, like if that's what you wanted to, but you talked yourself into that corner. Like if it's 2 years at the new TD Place at 5,500. Before you move to the new Sens building at Le Breton, like, I think that's workable. I think fans would have preferred that. As we all saw what happened when the 67s had to play out at Canadian Tire Center for a few years. It wasn't
eviscerated.
I really feel like the PWHL has talked themselves into a corner here that they didn't have to.
I think they overplayed their hand too early on in the process, for sure.
They really wanted it to come off. Like, I don't want to put you in this spot, Hoff. I believe they tried to play the card, you are against women's sports.
Yeah, nope. I mean, I think
that's not what happened. That is not reality.
No, and I think they were trying to hedge their bets on maybe on a new lease, a different lease. I think they went too far too early because, again, the PR element of it, just like, okay, well, you're getting all threatening right off the bat. I go back and forth with this one because I'm also of the mind, I agree with you, but I'm also of the mind that it was like you probably could have put another 1,000 seats in this arena.
Sure.
And it had not be
Hoff, let me be the dick then,
huge
man,
deal.
I can play that part.
You're great at it.
I'm familiar with this.
Oscar.
If they had gone ahead and said, okay, we will build this new arena at Lansdowne to 9,000 seats, the moment that the Charge can sell 9,001 seats, they're moving to the new Sens building anyway.
I think that's all.
You're right. There's no loyalty here. There's no local owner. Like, this is pyramid down. It's a league owner. There's no relationship here.
No,
there's no trust here. Like,
and the problem is too is that the new arena at LeBreton is several years away. At like best case scenario. So it's early. Like, I mean, if it was me, like, play in the smaller arena for
2 years,
for a couple years.
Don't say we will never
and show
play there.
that this like.
There's people lined up at the door.
So you end up with it, and I don't necessarily buy that. Oh, it's going to cause skyrocketing ticket prices. Like, you can keep your ticket prices.
Wherever you want.
Tickets go up every year anyway in every pro sport, so fine. But I think the skeptic in me sometimes thought that, like, are they just looking for an out of Ottawa? And are they looking for to relocate the team? And this is, like, the way to do it? Because I have so many concerns about them going out to CTC to play.
That's not a good idea.
It killed the 67's fan base to a point that like it took the decade to recover from. It's not a small thing. It's not central. It's far. And if you don't get the fan buy-in that you want out there, and you're not putting, I mean, they had 17,000 people at the game the other day. They played a couple weeks ago, but it's a one-off.
Yep.
So,
and it's not January.
No,
in a blizzard.
Exactly. So
if I'm a Sens season ticket holder and I'm already going out there twice a week, am I going out for another one?
Not if I live in Orleans.
Right.
Like, I think they
botched themselves
in
here, man. And that
and because it only gives them
like that.
It gives them two options now. They go play at CTC and hope for the best, or they leave, or they pull the plug on Ottawa, because that would be the other. Or you go to Gatineau.
Well, I guess Sant Slush Puppy. We can try that.
But if you talk about Andlauer buying the potentially that just came out recently. But say he buys the Gatineau LA Peak, then is it like? Do you almost make it like a national capital region, like the NCR charge? Like, I don't know, but there's not that many options. There's literally only one or two. If you count Gatineau, there's only two buildings that apparently satisfy the charges requirement for seating capacity.
But like that part of it for me is okay. Like, you should be looking bigger.
I also feel like Michaela's like over my shoulder, like smacking me in the head right now.
She looms large in the studio.
She might have a different take.
but I just think you should be looking bigger, and that's why you can't ask the taxpayer, for me, to pay for any pro sports. And look, the 67s aren't pro sports. The Charge are pro. That guy who owns the PWHL can afford to put a building to his exact specifications in every market if he wanted to. They don't want to. They want you to pay for an extra few thousand seats at TD Place. And if they had said, if you give us those extra 1,000 seats, or those extra 2,000 seats, we will stay for 20 years. We'll sign a lease in that bill. We can talk about that.
Sure.
But that's not what happened.
And again, they are a tenant, like you said. Like they're not one of the OSEG owned teams,
right? So what should have happened? You can't box yourself in. You can't say we will never play in a smaller building, because it forces you now out to Canada, which is tough on the Ottawa sports fan, on the Ottawa hockey fan in January and February. You could have just said, this doesn't work for us long term. We'll sign a year-over-year lease or whatever. And then when the new Sens building at LeBreton is ready, you make the move that everyone thinks you should have made anyway, or that would be the natural evolution, and everyone's fine. It's you said it right when you said they just bit off more than they could chew here.
Too early. When they first came out with that stance, I was like, my Spidey PR sense is having a meltdown, because I'm like, it's just going to be. And again, that's what you get. Now you have the relocation rumors, which you don't want to create, and you have can the fan base survive at CTC, which you don't want to necessarily get into the conversation of this early on.
It's hard out there,
and you're like 5 years probably away from having a new arena downtown. Yeah. So,
and what is there? 2 left at the current TD Place?
Yeah.
So
at least.
Yeah. So there's a current, before it gets knocked down and the new one opens, right?
Yeah, but I can't imagine the new one's open with it like before 5 years from now. Have you ever renovated a bathroom? Like, this is like buildings that like
not intentionally.
I have no faith in construction schedules in general. So I'm so
You're talking to somebody who grew up the son of a construction.
Well, shit. So you probably have. But
no, I'm just offended that
you should be.
we do our best.
Yeah, well, go for fewer smoke breaks. I don't know. I'm skeptical. Like, the timeline is going to be longer than I think whatever the timeline they put on it is.
On the 67s building too, not just the Sens building.
Yeah. It's a major. I mean, they have shovels in the ground at Lansdowne now, and they're going to build the arena before they knock down the old arena.
Yeah,
which is a very good plan. Because you have to, you can't kick the team out to Canada again. That almost ended that team. So,
well, that's,
then it gets tricky. Like, it just there's too much time in between now and what you could say is a permanent solution with a new arena. So I don't know what they're.
That's my whole thing, man.
There's not a good answer to this right now, and they
just say, long term 5,500 seats doesn't work for us. That's fine. We will wait and see. We want to partner with the Sens in their new building and whatever. Don't say we won't ever play in the new. You've now limited your options.
No, it's too definitive. It's PR 101 is to not take a hard shot on something that you don't have the exact
final
perfect
say on. Yeah,
definitive solution to.
100%. Permanent solution is a phrase we're not really.
Maybe we're not doing. You know what I mean.
I do.
Long-term solution.
Yeah.
New arena. Jesus.
Yeah. Why don't we take? And still, we got to throw Jesus into the mix. We're going to take a break here. Hoff and I, believe it or not, need a new beer. And we'll come back. We'll talk about the Sens having made the playoffs. And I want to pick his PR brain on a couple of things that have gone down around the team this year as well.
Oh, boy.
So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in just a second. All right, we dive back in here on the Tall Can Audio Podcast, talking to our acquaintance Chris Hofley.
Love you.
Yeah. What are we having for round two here, man?
Well, we are having. I was feeling a little crazy, going with something a little different. This is by Imperial City Brew House. This is called Wheat Pog.
Remember Pog?
I would love Pogs. I had a binder of Pogs back in the day.
I had a binder of Pogs, too.
We were cool.
Yeah.
Ow! Oh, Matt's got back issues. So
this didn't come up at the beginning.
If he screams in agony during all this,
this is the first time I'll be laughing.
And this is I'm assuming a wheat ale of some sort with passion fruit, orange, and guava.
Ooh, guava.
So it's fruity and fun, just like Matt. Oh, he's going to scream in pain again.
Nope. Got it under control. Look, this didn't come up at the beginning of the show. Why
sorry. That's fucking delicious. That is a really tasty beer.
All right. What was the brewery again?
Imperial City Brew House.
Where is that? Sarnia?
Well, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you.
It is from Sarnia. Yeah.
Went to school there for some months. Didn't finish.
No kidding.
It's a sore subject around the old.
Matt's no longer back in Sarnia.
Nope. This one over here is from the Sawdust City Brewing Company. Yeah, up in rich people cottage country.
Ah, yes. Don't hurt yourself opening it.
Lone Pine.
Oh, that's good.
IPA.
I've enjoyed that particular beverage before.
So do me a favor, man, because I need you to fill a minute or two here. Over at your local watering hole, they're in the Glebe.
Glebe Central
Glebe
Pub.
douche.
Yeah.
Good spot for craft, or are they kind of a straight up beer?
No, they've got great taps. They've got like 22 taps, and
I never make it that far. I stop at craft, and I'm like, I'll just go in here.
Yeah.
They have beer too.
We've got more of a vibe, though.
Yeah.
It's like the quintessential community pub.
Yeah.
So, and they have to appeal to the very wide, like the vast age range of people that go there. Because you will have people that go in there regularly that are 20 up to like 85. Like it's
85.
So you need to have some of your like, there's a couple of old dudes that go in there and like they like their quart of Canadian or their quart of 50.
Oh, quart.
They do have quarts, but their taps are great. They've got
go for the quart.
They've got your Dominion City. They've got your Bose. They've got your. I like a good Creemore once in a while. There,
Really?
That's Creemore Lager. 20 plus taps, and there's a little variety but
It's Gary
it's
Bettman.
distracting.
It's Gary Bettman.
They have something for everyone. Come to the Glebe Central Pub. All right.
All right.
It's great. Great TVs.
Can I
Watch a
come,
game.
or-
You can come anytime you want.
All right.
Maybe not right now because you're almost immobile. But yeah.
100%. I'm going to have to edit this show on my back. Look, we didn't get into this at the beginning of the show. Maybe we shouldn't, but I woke up on... so we are recording on Wednesday afternoon / evening. I woke up on Tuesday morning with like just a tweak in my low back. As a man in his 40s, you don't think much about it. Like, oh, I slept like shit again, and my body hurt me for no real reason. And by Tuesday night, I was like leaning on countertops to move my way around. I'm putting things in front of the couch that will anchor my ample frame as I try to lower myself into a seated position.
Now he just shrieks when he moves.
A little bit. There's a wheeze. It's a bad day, man. I have got myself a sweet Life brand heated back pad going here. It's bad.
You didn't get two. I think your guest who's also 40, should have something to make sure I don't turn into you.
You know what?
Keep it limber.
Bring BYOB. Bring your own back pad. It's going to be a rule around this podcast.
You're welcome, listeners.
Yeah.
This is what you're here for.
All right. I want to pick your PR brain on the Sens here in a second. But before we do, let's talk about the fan perspective on the Sens. It is going to be Ottawa versus Carolina.
Let's go.
In round one. That is, I would say, an unusual matchup.
I don't think it's happened.
It has not
before.
happened. No. What's your confidence level? What's your aggression level towards Carolina hockey? Like if it had been Leafs and Sens again, first of all, you wouldn't be here right now. But
we wouldn't be speaking for a little
I'll
bit.
talk to you in a couple of weeks.
It's not Leafs versus Sens, though, because the Leafs did not make the playoffs.
It did not. It did not come anywhere close to making the fucking playoffs.
Nope.
So it is Ottawa, Carolina. It doesn't scream rivalry, but it does scream probably a pretty good series.
It should be. Carolina's good. Like a good team. Ottawa had a real hard time with them for much of this season, but then the last game, I was at the game on Easter Sunday.
Is this where your family member needed a lobotomy? Is that what that was?
Pretty much, yeah. And he is now a diehard Sens fan. He's from the UK.
Oh, boy. So he's had his
but he was also like chanting, like making up chants that were like soccer chants, because that's what he watches. So
take us inside this, because you tweeted something.
It was, I tweeted, against my better judgment, I tweeted for suggestions on how to make a Brit happy at his first Sens game. I got a lot of sarcastic bullshit because it's Twitter.
Hi.
And yours was expected. Just but some people just aren't. If you're gonna chirp me like that, be clever a little bit or be mad.
On nuts,
I guess. But it was he had a blast.
So it was his first NHL.
It was first NHL game ever.
How do you know this person?
He's my ready for it. He's my sister-in-law's sister's husband.
I'm not even going to bother trying to understand.
So my brother is married to my sister-in-law.
Yes.
She has a sister, and she's with this dude. And they live in the UK. They're both teachers, and they were visiting, as they do on occasion. And lovely people.
Yeah.
Good party. And he's a proper English bloke. Loves his pints. Loves
his Boddingtons.
Yeah, and like whatever. Honestly, as I learned, he's like, "Oh, come to your pub, mate. Let's go."
Back to
that's
Glebe
exactly
Central.
what he's. Yeah, and so we had a good time. We took the Glebe Central pub bus. Back and forth, $18 return trip.
Yeah, beauty.
Brilliant, as he would say, because he's British.
Yeah, Lieutenant's Pump does that downtown too. Awesome, man.
So good.
Yeah.
But he was still like, he's like, it's not as
you're gonna
constantly
pay it
loud.
off. Like, I'm probably gonna stumble in there for a couple first.
Well, exactly.
And I'm gonna stumble back in.
It's
when we're
good
done.
value. You can bring a couple of roadies on the bus. It's brilliant. Again, but he was singing like when the Sens go marching in, as if it was a fucking soccer game. But he was doing it so passionately. They got people around us like we're just dying laughing, like we're super into it. And
You up in the 300s or
but like 300 right at center ice.
Yeah.
Great seats, good game. No fights. I was kind of hoping you get to see a fight and like see actual people fight and not like soccer, like flailing around what he's used to. But yeah, he had a great time. It was a good. It was. I had a friend come and a good preliminary kind of taste of Carolina leading into the playoffs, and we didn't get our asses kicked by them this time. So I'm feeling good. I have no animosity towards the Hurricanes at this point.
It'll take one game.
It'll take if that.
Yeah.
Like
you're
it'll
gonna
take
be like,
a few
Taylor
shifts.
Hall, you dirty fuck.
You piece of shit.
No,
it'll like that's the best thing about it. The first round of the NHL playoffs is the best.
It is.
There's hockey on every night.
Yep.
Even the teams you don't care about, it's good, like intense. Like it's the best time of year.
I'm too old. I want to be a Ducks guy. I thought this is gonna be it's 10 p.m. every night. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's the West Coast thing is.
So I'm like, can I get into Buffalo? And he's like, that's a big rivalry for Toronto, but fuck Boston. So I think I can get into
Ottawa. Ottawa it is, and you heard it here first. Matt is all in.
I wanted to watch Buffalo Ottawa. That's the series I wanted because I thought the return to the playoffs for Buffalo, the excitement in that market. Obviously, Ottawa being a passionate market.
Ottawa played Buffalo the first time they ever made the playoffs back in 97 or 98 or whatever it was.
Bruce Gardner or some shit.
Yeah, and Tugnut, Ron Tugnut let in the winning goal in overtime. It went through the webbing of his glove. I was like, I don't know, 12. I was devastated. It was the worst.
No, I'm with you on that, but like Buffalo's I'm less likely to watch Buffalo Boston than I would have been Buffalo Ottawa, right? Like to me, that would have been a great matchup, but Ottawa, Carolina, it doesn't excite me. Like, those are two defensive teams. And look, this isn't me trying to be an asshole. This is my natural
about your team being garbage.
Well, they were not defensible in any way. When I look at this Ottawa team, no, I can't get on side. I'm not going to be. It's not. You don't want me.
No, I don't. And if it was the roles were reversed, I would cheer for Carolina on a Tuesday in December over the Leafs. I understand.
So when you look at these two teams, though, I'm like, I just don't like this as an. I will watch it. It's good for the show. It's the market we do the show in. Like, obviously, the Sens and Hurricanes is an interesting matchup.
Go Sens, go.
But it's not as fun as Ottawa Buffalo would have been.
Maybe not.
In my mind.
But I like the idea of playing a team that we've never played before in the playoffs because we just don't know.
Sure.
Maybe they're both just going to.
But you don't know this Buffalo either. Like, just because you played Buffalo in 96.
No, that's true. But I don't know. I just don't know Carolina as much in general. Like, Buffalo, I don't know. I've always been. Buffalo's around. Carolina's had more dips and ups and downs.
Did you have a take in the sense that, like, a lot of people were like, okay, in the first round, we would get rookie Buffalo, if you're an Ottawa fan, right? Like, Buffalo's just as new to this, and their high-flying up-and-go would sort of fit into Ottawa's, I don't want to use the word trap, but just the way Ottawa defends. I felt like Buffalo might be a slightly better matchup for Ottawa, but you would have Tampa probably waiting in the second round. Whereas in this way, if you can get through Carolina in round one, it's going to be the winner of Pittsburgh, Philly in round two. Like, that's not scary. Like, there's sort of, when do you want to slay your dragon? Like, did you have a
I mean, I would have taken Montreal right off the bat, too. I fucking love being the Habs.
Being out.
Yeah, but no, I like it. I don't think about Carolina that much day to day, so I'm kind of psyched to see them play someone that I'm like, sure, let's just see how that, like, maybe line brawl right off the bat. We don't know. And Ottawa's playing like a good kind of scrappy hockey that they can like really run and gun, and they can.
So good, man.
And they've peaked at the right time, minus some injuries that.
They have shit goaltending,
and it comes and go. Well, Ottawa needs to. Right now, it's been good. It's been really good. As long
I don't
as
trust it, but it's been good.
Yeah,
for a while.
I mean, but I'm conditioned that way from years of being a Sens fan. Anyway, it has nothing to do with the current goalies. I'm just like I'm always like, or the fucking Hashik's adductor muscle. I just don't like goalies in the playoffs.
I still so I'm really hoping don't know what that muscle is, but I've heard of it.
It's not the one that's hurting your back right now. It's a little bit south of there, but it apparently
my butt cheek.
Yes. Yeah,
I pulled a butt cheek.
You pulled everything by the looks of you. I wish everyone could see Matt right now because he looks like a robot because he's not moving any of his body when he moves. He's
like
just
my beers have to be right in front of me. I texted a friend who's a physio last night, and I said, honestly, I don't think this is a real medical diagnosis. It feels like I pulled a love handle. But that's what it feels like. I don't think that's what happened.
I guarantee that's not a real diagnosis. I think that area has probably a name.
Like. Yeah. Look, I look at this Ottawa-Carolina matchup. I will follow it because that's what the nation's capital is going to be.
You secretly love the Sens.
It's not.
It's okay. We can move on. Next segment.
It's just not as interesting as it could have been. I like Buffalo's high flying. We're just coming at you with everything we got with no regard for defending our own goal versus Ottawa's, all right, skate right into our trap. Like, let's just the punch, counter punch kind of thing.
You know me, I'm a positive, optimistic dude, and I'm just taking an open mind to all this, man.
Okay. All right.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. You won't have a strong reaction one way or another, I'm sure.
You're not capable of moving?
No. Honestly, get back here. I'm so broken. Are you confident the Sens are beating the Hurricanes?
I feel good about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, give me a percentage. 50-50, 60-40, 70, 51-49.
Let's say 70-30.
That the Sens are winning.
Yeah. Playing good hockey right now.
This is a team that's gone to the conference finals in 2 of the last 3 years, right? The Hurricanes.
Yeah, but fuck America.
Well. America. Fuck yeah. All right. I want to pick your PR brain here for a second with 2 different stories that have played out over the course of the year for the Senators. Let's start with Linus Ullmark. And this is a tough one. It always is because we just expect locker rooms full of male athletes just, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine at every moment. And sometimes you're not. And it's tough enough to admit to your teammates, hey, I'm not in a good spot. Like, I need a minute here, right? Like, and that's before it breaks containment, right? And goes to the media, goes to social media. And I'm just curious, you and I both know our buddy Mendez. What has he been through this year on that front? When Linus Ullmark comes out and says, look, I got to step away. I need a minute here to catch my breath and regroup. And what that's going to do to his teammates, what that's going to do to the market. I'm curious what your thoughts were, because I think this was right after, like, December 28th. He stepped away, took some time, came back, and honestly, since the Olympic break, for the most part, he's been elite. Like, he's after getting the break he needed, has given the team everything they could have. But there was a spot in there. I'm just sort of curious in that macho sense of, like, what the locker room thinks and what you're going to have to step forward and say to the media and what's okay to ask and what's not okay to ask, what we can expect out of social media, man. What did Ian Mendez go through in that moment as doing the job that you did for so long for the Sens?
I mean, for starters, I don't know what Ian makes in a year, and it's not enough. Like, that is a job that, unless and I haven't worked into that scale, but I have a good enough idea of what goes into what he does, and it's a really, really tough job. I think as far as Ullmark goes, I think when someone like Ian in his role found out about it, his first reaction was probably like, "Oh fuck,"
yeah,
which is a normal reaction. I also know Ian;
he probably did,
and he's one of the most empathetic, kind, caring dudes I've met in the sports business, and it's not always a rich like embarrassment of riches of those types of people in pro sports. It's such a hard one, and I think I have so much respect for Ullmark for coming out and speaking to it. I'm someone who's had my own issues with anxiety and depression since my early 20s, and it's something that I've always kind of dealt with. I think at this point in my life, I'm in a pretty good space of understanding kind of how to navigate that. Yeah. But I think feeling like that and having everybody's eyes on you all the time.
I got to turn around and tell a whole city. Here's why I'm not getting in the net.
I'm disappointed to see some of the commentary from some of the fan base that clearly have never experienced any issues with their own mental health and thinking that for some reason, if you're making money as a pro athlete,
8.25
somehow
makes it go away.
Like, yeah, it's great. Like, that has nothing to do with it. Lifestyle, like whatever's going on in your life it's a brain chemistry thing. Yeah. You can't control it until you figure out how to control it. Listen, he would never have taken the same shit that he did, especially online, as if that matters. But it does because he sees it. But if he had left the team for a quote unquote physical illness, or like he got
I tweaked my ankle,
or he had cancer or something like that, like everyone would have lined up to support him. There probably would have been a friggin' like GoFundMe. Yes. Like, I mean, probably maybe not a GoFundMe. He's probably doing okay, but like there would have been some like groundswell of really intense support. And it saddens me that we're not there yet with mental health because it's the same. It's a disease like any other disease that you have to take time away and treat it. And if you've never had a panic attack, anyone that's had a panic attack can at least kind of extrapolate what that would feel like if you're on the ice in front of 20,000 people and that's happening. It's bad enough when you're by yourself.
That appeared to be the December 27th game in Toronto,
and he was pretty.
And he wasn't any good. And he came and he stepped away and said, "Look, I can't help you right now. Like I'm not in a place where I can help myself." No,
and it broke my heart to hear when he more recently when he spoke about it when he was nominated for the Masterton, and he said, I'm broke. I realized I was broken and I'm not fixed yet. And it's like only people that have kind of been in that area with their own mental health kind of understand where he's coming from. And so that was both tough to hear, but also like incredible that he spoke to it so eloquently. And the last game where he, it came out that he needed a night off, like fuck you and your judgment. It's hockey doesn't matter. Like, in that context?
So again, let me be the asshole on this side. And it's an easy, but there are fans that would go, "Hey, can you do this? Or can't you? We need you today. This is a big game for us." Like, it's a tweaked, if we're going to make a comparison, if we're going to make an example, your ankle is hurt sometimes, but not all the time. Like we have to kind of live with what days and that kind of is the reality. And I don't think sports fans are ready for that, man. I don't think we're in that place.
I don't think some sports fans want to be ready for it or want to understand it or want to dig any deeper into
Linus
that.
Ullmark is a Vezina Trophy winner at his best, but sometimes he's going to need a minute. And so are we?
Do you know how hard it would be for a guy like him to say he's not going to play a game because of that? Like he knows what's going to come with it.
You don't make it to the place that he is as a top-end professional athlete in the NHL, having won a Vezina Trophy, going, I can let myself off the hook whenever I feel like it. This isn't important. These people drive themselves.
They do, and it's so hard for them in any context to be like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah,
and it's not like an ankle, tweak.
No,
it's
but
like,
if it was, everyone
would be like, whatever. But like again, having been there to some extent, like. Sometimes you just can't you can't leave your house.
No,
you can't get out of bed. And it's not like I need to fire myself up or pick myself up from my bootstraps. It's like it's a brain chemistry thing. That's until you get
it's entirely chemical.
And you can get a handle on it, and you can learn how to mitigate those times where you maybe previously couldn't do what you needed to do. But to be like you make X number of dollars and it's an important game, like. Your brain's more important. Your overall health's more important. Your family life is more important. It's still just a sport.
But we could run into this again.
Yeah,
if it's 1-1, Sens Canes coming home for Game 3, and he finds himself in a spell or whatever. It's tough, man. It's tough.
And that sucks. And it could happen. And
it could happen.
And I would be in his corner if that happens 3 times during the playoffs. There's no way to know, and there's no way to understand how he's feeling without being him. And give the guy some grace. Like it's.
But we don't do that.
We don't, and it's
We drink
frustrating, and it's kind of sad. Like
talking sports,
and like his family probably will see all the commentary about it, and
of course they will.
It's not like rehabbing a shoulder injury. It's not, it is what it is for him, and that might happen again. It may not. You really just,
and he's been terrific.
And he's been so good. It's not like he's. And like he even said, like he's not quite all the way there yet, and like so it's like he's probably working 3 times as hard to get to where he needs to be.
There is no. You can say this about any top end athlete. There's no one putting more pressure on themselves than they are.
No,
right?
And especially goalies. And again, it's like goalies is such a mental game to begin with. Like if you're not all there, like he doesn't want to be a liability. I think he's gotten probably a lot more support internally with his own team than he's gotten publicly from fans.
So again, I don't want to harp on it, but just because you can offer some unique insight, what did that look like that week for Ian Mendes? Is it more the social media noise that he's trying to get a handle on? Is it actual media members coming to him and say, "Hey, can we talk to Linus? Hey, what's that?" Just because you have some perspective.
It would have been both. It would have been both. It's easy to deal with the media and that like the actual on-site media where you'd be like, "That's not happening today." Yeah. I did that all the time with football players or hockey players for different reasons. Really, like they're not available. But for the outside noise,
weeks at a
it's
time,
coming up
can
with
you hold them off.
Yeah. Like
he's not talking.
If the guy's not.
To,
no, you just say like it's blank. It's like he's not going to be available until he says he's available. Okay. You can complain about that or write about that or talk about that on the air, but he's not.
Okay.
There's no obligation to for a guy that's on the injured list or on like on a leave. It was always the rule for us with the Red Blacks that if the guy's on the injured list, he's not doing media.
Sure.
And like very, very few kind of special circumstances where you might want someone, if it's a vet player and he's going to be out for the year, but you want him to speak to rally up the troops. Okay, fine. But no, that's and the media here, in my experience, they're not going to push that too hard.
This is not Manhattan.
Fortunately, it's not. It would be managing the outside noise. Like if it was me and a player that I worked with, I'd be talking to them as much as I don't know how much access someone like Ian would have had to Ullmark during all that. If they were communicating, I would have tried, to communicate with whoever the player was. Sure. And just kind of get a sense of where they're at. Tell them not to read Tell them not to read social media, and just kind of be there. Because you can't rush the process, and you have to just kind of roll with it and take your lumps. Because there's also no use arguing with people on social media because it's like a cesspool of like the bottom of the barrel of analysis most of the time. So you just kind of it'd be stressful as hell because you'd be getting, that's all you'd be talking about and hearing about, and you'd be getting updates from different parts of the organization. You would know stuff about the situation that's not released or maybe would never get released or would eventually get released, and you'd have to plan a way to kind of work around that until you can get to a point where you're making an announcement that he's back. But it's tough. Like any player, it's not a bone injury. It's you don't know, so it's a lot. It's a lot of waiting and being stressed out about it.
My cousin or my sister or my nephew read this on Twitter and sent it to me, and I'm like, just don't. Like, you can tell them not to go on Twitter. You can't tell them not to answer texts from their family, right? Like this is a real thing. Like it's
a real thing and it's real life. And I think I'd be telling the player not to worry about the outside noise. I'd be like, no one knows. Like, do your thing. Get to where you think you can be here and contribute, and we'll give you the time and space to do it, which I think the Sens did admirably.
They did. And so let me again just poke at you here and try and be the unwoke asshole here. If it is Game 7 between Ottawa, Carolina, and Ullmark can't go, and it's kind of cloudy like that to fans, right? Like we're not talking about why. Like what does that look like to the rest? Like you're going to be the guy. Look, Ullmark doesn't play, and I'm not trying to predict this, right? Like the guy's been fantastic since he has returned to the net. But if in a major moment like that, if he doesn't play in a big game here in these playoffs, and obviously Brady or Pinto or what, people are going to be asked in the postgame, what do you think about the fact that, your goalie couldn't go tonight? What are you saying to those guys? Like, what do you tell those guys?
I tell Rick Campbell when he was the head coach of the Red Blacks, every game, at the end of a bad game or at the end of a game where we lost and the refs were shitty, or there was something going on with another player or there was a fight with another player or whatever. Rick's whole thing was always like, for post-game media, and this is before I took over the room and told guys who to talk to and where to go, but it was like, talk about yourself.
Yeah.
Talk about the game and the result. You don't have to answer every friggin' question about it.
Done more.
Yeah, that's where sometimes you want guys to lapse into the cliches. But I would also go to a player that I knew and respected and knew that they would eloquently address a major issue that was overhanging, and I'd say to them, be like, "Listen, I need someone that can speak to this if it's asked.
Jump on this grenade,
and who's gonna just like speak to it in a nice, supportive, eloquent way that's gonna give the media the soundbite they want, but it's not gonna be some guy being like, "Oh, it's boredom. It's tough." But like, I always had a guy in my back pocket that if it, given the issue, like whatever the issue was, that I could pull that player out and know that they'd be able to handle themselves and give a good couple of words and move on from it. But again, like to your point, if it's a game 7 and then, shit happens. Like a guy might get a concussion in the last game and not be able to play.
Broken ankle. Skate through it and get in there.
It's an injury. It's an illness.
Yes.
But it's not. It's still not respected as that, and we're not there. And it's gotten a lot better than it has been over the last decade or whatever. But especially in sports,
to a certain segment.
Yeah. Sports we're still fighting about like the cons of having like a pride jersey on. Like, it's sports fandom's lag behind society in so many ways.
Oh yeah,
and it's insanely frustrating. It's like, just respect people, know that they're actually people, and that they might see what kind of
so let me take you to a different place, because I'm curious about your perspective on this as well, coming from the very same perspective, right? That you would have had with OSEG, the very things that Ian would be going through with the Senators. Because look, Ian will be back in here in the summer, and there's some certain things he's just not going to answer. Right? But the Brady Matthew Tkachuk podcast,
it's terrible.
Coming out of the Olympics, look, we're already pissy with them because they won gold and we did not. But then they're off to the White House, and we don't like their White House. We're unhappy with that. We have the Keith Tkachuk, bloated Brady, I think is what some people would take to call. Look, there was a bunch of stuff, and there was some stuff I thought was sort of silly, but they did take a shot at Travis Green in terms of how often Brady was playing, right? His amount of ice time. That's a real thing that happened. I'm with most people who believe that the criticism of playing through an injury was actually directed at Florida more than Ottawa. But that's going to land right in the PR guy's lap again in Ottawa. And that is a self-inflicted wound, right? Like, I saw a lot of people saying, it's stupid to ask Brady about that. Brady voluntarily went on that platform, created that space, and now someone's going to have to answer for it. Someone's going to have to talk to it. And to pretend that it's not okay to ask Brady, who, look, good or bad, he didn't speak before whatever the game was after that. That's fine. But he was going to speak afterwards, and people asked. It's a reasonable question, man.
100%.
If you are the PR guy for the Sens in that moment, are you having a conversation with Brady before that press availability? Is that just something you assume he knows is coming?
I mean, for starters, I would have probably tied myself to an office chair somewhere and stopped the podcast from happening.
Please just don't.
It's the worst idea. It's a bad podcast. It's not interesting.
People like it.
People like it because it's just like
it's hockey bros.
It's hockey bros, but like, Jesus, like, you're not exactly like it's just a weird climate to have it. And
this is the last. So there was one.
I like New Heights. Like, they're not the Kelsey brothers. They don't have the banter, and those guys don't and those guys don't shit on their own teams for the most part.
So it's Wednesday evening again, as you and I are talking, late afternoon or whatever. So Matthew was not on the show today because he just had a kid with his significant other. Cool, no problem. Brady's the one gearing up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Matthews going to sit at home all spring. If I wanted the Sens to do well, I do not want my captain thinking about that today.
Well, I don't either. I don't want him anywhere near it during the postseason, especially. I think that show should be on hiatus during the
right.
Yeah,
like next Wednesday. Yeah. Do we expect between games 2 and 3?
I hope to hell not.
That there's a. I don't even.
You shouldn't be allowed to like. It
shouldn't be allowed.
No, you shouldn't be like. It's an insane distraction from the team.
Yes.
So like to your point about being asked, like if players are asked about Ullmark and how they respond. Yeah. That's one thing. If I was a teammate and being asked about that nonsense,
right,
during a playoff run, I'd be pissed as hell.
You shot yourself in the foot here, right?
It's
That's
silly, and
noise.
It's not riveting analysis from them. They're not like Rhodes scholars. Like love them. No. Brady's my captain, but like they're not. Their dad's not exactly, the most brilliant hockey player to ever walk the face of the earth.
Nope.
And it's just basic banter, and it's not like personally for me, I don't find it interesting.
I don't either.
I think they're overshooting the thing. I think they're way too cocky about being the Kelseys in the NHL, and it's so far removed from what that podcast has going for it.
Like if we're gonna be reasonable about it, I understand why Matthew was not there this week. You just had a kid. That's totally reasonable.
Sure.
Brady's going to the fucking playoffs. If I'm a Sens fan, hey, could you lock in, man? Like, could you focus on?
And maybe if your co-host is on there, maybe just skip the episode this time.
Yeah, like we just don't have one this week.
It's not like there might be a handful of the certain type of follower that's sitting there like can't wait for the next episode.
So
if
you're the PR guy for the Sens, would you have said to Brady, "Hey, not necessarily this week because we're all taking a break here. The Sens have clinched. It
would have to come from higher up
through the playoffs." Would you say to him, "Hey, couple weeks off here, man. Like this isn't the time for."
It's hard. In my experience, it wouldn't have been my call anyway. Mm-hmm. It would have been like in my role with the REDBLACKS, it would have been the GM that would have come in and be like, "You're not doing this."
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in that world. There's so many different personalities and egos and people in charge of certain things.
The sport, we want to grow the game.
I'd be surprised if Ian had a say either way in saying like, do this, don't this. Steve Sales should be like,
going, hey,
yeah,
now,
I mean, I would. I'd be like, this is just a bad look. And there is something about like keeping certain things on the ice and maybe talking about it after the fact in the offseason. Like, I don't need to hear your innermost thoughts. Really, like it's
so hard.
It's
right?
so self-serving, and
we also rip these guys all the time for not opening up, right? For not helping grow the game.
There's an in-between.
This show is not for me. Yeah. I find them irritating. I find the bro hockey talk uninteresting. But I don't want to be the guy who goes, hey, if we can grow something, it's just.
I don't think
this isn't the time.
I think
Brady
you could do it better. I think they could do it better if they wanted to not just talk about themselves constantly. Like,
honest, like here's a fight from NCAA.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't get the appeal. I get the appeal to a certain extent for certain fans.
Like you said new heights. Yeah, that's what they're trying to be,
and they're not. They're not moving the needle.
No, not
anywhere.
So
it's because there's controversy from everything they say somehow, which is also probably overblown a little bit. But like the new heights guys, you never hear anything about it being like, oh, you shouldn't have fucking done that.
There are NBA podcasts who absolutely tear up way harder than what the Tkachuks are doing, but basketball is just a different.
It's different.
They're just used to it. Hockey's such this conservative. Oh, we don't say things.
It is, but also
if you're gonna be up front, you're going to
fan bases can be so sensitive sometimes too that it's risky, and it just comes off as.
But like
don't have your dad on a show talking about your ice time. That's it's. Bush League. It's
and your brother going like, God, why would you play less than what you play at the Olympics? And what, does it matter? I don't know. But you've opened yourself up to everything about that was self-inflicted.
If I was Brady, I'd be so uncomfortable talking there's so many specifics about my own standing on a team that's currently trying to make a playoff spot.
And he's going to be. You are the linchpin. If the Sens are going to win this series against Carolina, he's a key cog. the Hurricanes do not have a Brady Tkachuk.
That would stress me out more as a PR guy than the Ullmark stuff does. Ullmark, you support him.
Yep.
You give him the leeway and the grace to do what he needs to do, and then you welcome him back and you deal with it
that's
accordingly.
A medical thing. This is just somebody out
this is
talking
just someone
for no reason.
It's an ego show.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's why that's
people kind
which is fine, but like this time of year,
people kind of like
and don't shit on your own team.
Yeah,
and don't have your
didn't.
Don't have daddy on to complain about your own team.
He didn't complain about it, but he didn't. He's kind of smirking and laughing.
Yeah, you could have come out a little bit more like. Or, have a podcast that's produced properly and well enough that you don't have this ambiguity somewhere. Like, it's...
the amount of people I saw trying to pull that was meant to be cut. There are cut marks all over that show. Like, if you understand how media is produced, they cut all over the place.
Well, no one wants to hear all, like, the heavy breathing or, like, you cut around when I cough randomly on this show. Like, that's just how that works.
Yeah.
But it's wild to me. Like, the whole thing, like...
But what is the balance? Because let's close on this. I'm curious. I think we all
guests, have players be guests on podcasts. That's great. I think that's brilliant a lot of the time. Like players are interviewed by someone who's not their teammate or their
is terrific.
Yeah, I know, but they've lightning in a bottle with those two. Those two are like Travis and Jason are different cats. They get it somehow.
So are Matthew and Brady just trying to be that?
Yeah, and just not like I think it's like Temu version.
Yeah.
I just don't
Are
like
any
it.
of you dating Taylor Swift?
Like, I just don't love it. I think if your podcast is leading to media questions about stuff that is controversial, you're doing it wrong.
If Shane Pinto has to answer questions tomorrow about what his captain's podcast,
but if you have a good podcast host that's interviewing a player on a certain episode. And just go getting good insight. That's what you want, and you want to train guys better media wise so they can actually give an answer. But you don't want them always to speak what's on their mind because they're not all brilliant.
No, they are not.
Like there's a lot. Like you don't.
Few of them.
There's a reason why certain like players speak in cliches because they don't want to get in shit. The team doesn't want them to wax poetic about certain things, and that's fine. But there's avenues to like show personalities that aren't just having a like self-flagellating show about how great our family is.
Yeah, no, I think there's a way to do this where it can help grow the game, especially for two guys who just helped win an Olympic gold medal.
They almost need a third person in there that's a little bit less not ruled. Yeah. Like not a player, and someone like a moderator almost.
I'll do it.
Like a proper host.
I actually don't want to talk to Matthew.
I don't talk to Matthew at all either. I don't want to ask Brady about his politics because I have a kind of an idea and I don't want to go down that road either.
No, I'm with you there. It just sort of feels like someone could, like the question, like we talked about, Matt, the idea that all the Sens must be sitting out, that was clearly about the Panthers, right? But when he said about Brady's ice time, that's hard to steer away. You just need a decent producer who goes, cut that moment, right?
You shouldn't have to crack the code after you listen to the episode about what we're talking about.
And this is it. But I do get it. As someone who does a show like what we're doing here, sit here, have a few pints and talk some shit, you don't want it to feel unnatural.
No.
Right? You don't want. So there's a balance to be. But I don't know about you. I'm not planning to try and play for the Sens in the playoffs next week.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm on the fence.
I'm a righty. Do you guys need a right-handed defender still? No?
I'd probably just fall down and dislocate my shoulder. But
your shoulder for sure is going in.
Yeah.
Quick. That's the part that bugs me, is you can have a totally natural conversation and then leave it to your producer to cut in a way that,
but that's not going to bite you in the ass after the fact.
You don't need,
or like suck it up. You don't suck it up and do the media afterwards.
This is it. We played that clip after. Julian McKenzie asks him, "Hey, were you surprised about the feedback on the podcast or the blowback about the podcast?" And then he kind of goes, "Hey, they asked about your ice time." And he goes, "Hey, I already answered this." No, you didn't.
No,
you didn't. And that is a shot in your own foot, right? Like you didn't have to create.
Back it up. You're comfortable going off in your podcast, but you can't speak freely And honestly,
afterwards, yeah.
in a scrum,
This is your first media availability. You're probably going to be
trying
asked
to like
about it, man.
managing your brand in a weird. I don't get it. I really don't. I think it's badly done. And
Brandy
it's not.
Tkachuk.
I think it just hurts
I
them
agree
more
with
than
you,
they realize it.
It is going to be Ottawa, Carolina. Starts on Saturday.
Go Sens, go baby!
Yeah.
You're gonna cut that out, aren't you?
God, cut most of what you said out here. I know we sort of started with this matchup, but just in a general sense, your feelings that the Sens could go deep this year, or that this is another. Last year they lost in round one. Maybe this year they win round one. Lose round. Like, is this a step forward year, or is the East wide open enough that they could burst through and really make a push?
I think, given how well they've played since the Olympics, I think they should get through the first round. That would be the expectation. It is a tough draw, but
if they can push through
I expect
Carolina,
them to.
they can beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think this team is again. If the the Shabots and the Sandersons and the Tkachuks of the world can get over, Shabbat's a medical marvel, apparently, but if they can play through that without it, if they're all playing like kind of at the top or close to the top of their game, and they play the way they have played, and they get good goaltending, I think they could take a, I've worked in sports long enough now that I'm like, who the fuck knows? But I also, it doesn't like impact my life dramatically anymore.
Okay.
The way, because I've been so emotionally invested in sport, to a certain extent, that now I'm just like, man, I just want to watch a good first round, good hockey. Hope my team wins. If they stay healthy and the injured guys are less injured, and it's all gonna, goaltending. So it's you don't know. It's been up and down. No. But they've peaked at the right time this year. They played really it hasn't always been the case. They played really good hockey down the stretch. The outlook for them making the playoffs, even a month ago was not good. So I
meant to ask you that. What was that roller coaster like? Just in terms of at different points. Oh, they're definitely making it. Oh, there's no shot. They're done.
I've been a Sens fan for so long that I'm like, this
bow out
tracks.
At any point?
No.
Did you?
I'm so into it. They've played good enough and entertaining enough hockey this year, especially that I'm just like, I'm fired up.
Long out.
Yeah.
Still,
but there was something about some of their games that they play even then that were like, you're scrappy and when you're on. Like if you can string a few of those together, then you might have something going on. So I wasn't checked out. Maybe like around the time I dipped a little bit, but like
as recently as 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
my usual Monday co-host Rob was like, "These fucking guys," right? Like
I don't know. There's I have a good vibe with I have a good feeling about this team. Just the way they're aggressive, they're skilled in the right ways. They're somehow gotten over an insane amount of injuries to their defense core, especially.
It's Sanderson and Shabbat.
Yeah.
They're somehow both back, both in the lineup.
Sanderson's he's gonna be a Norris Trophy winning guy. He's an unbelievable player.
Does it in such an unflashy way.
It's effortless. Right? It's where he
up
skates
here, and it's something where in the neutral zone he just pokes one away that no one notices, but it breaks up.
But it makes and he
right?
does stuff out of nothing, out of nowhere. Like Shabbat, I go back and forth on. I've never really been fully convinced, but Sanderson. Just a smooth, he skates effortlessly. It looks like he takes 2 strides and he's covered the entire ice from end to end. It's wild.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun for
me.
A lot of people in this area. Not me, necessarily.
You're going to love it. You're going to be on the bandwagon by the end of the first round.
Big Ducks guy, man. Big Ducks fan over here.
Big orange billboard over here.
Yep. It's my build. It's a lot of things.
It's my girth.
Girth seems grandiose. That seems like something to boast about. And I'm just not sure I'm quite there yet. We'll wrap it up here, man. I appreciate this as always, buddy. This is fun. This is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Good
Lots
to see you,
to talk about for sure. You as well. You can help me out of my chair here in a minute. We'll wrap it up. For Chris Hofley, my name is Matt Robinson. Thanks for listening. We'll be back, I think, on Friday. Rob's got some some Sens things to say about the Carolina Hurricanes. So we'll dive into all of that. If you missed it last week, check out Kevin Mickey from Sportsnet, Joshua Housem on the Blue Jays, all of it at tallcanaudio.com or wherever you're hearing us right now. For Chris Hofley, my name is Matt Robinson. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.